Good morning, traders. Welcome back to another live stream. If you are new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we hop on these charts on this beautiful Thursday, April 30th, make sure you read what's on the screen. Trading is risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you always do your own research, make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even if funded prop from accounts. And the affiliate partnership disclaimer. This is how I stand to make money from links to codes in my content, like code RDF and all the stuff in my content. Chat, what's up, guys? What's going on? Running it close to the open here. We are back here on TradingView. Still ask me why. We're going to execute on TradingView today through Tradeovate on some Lucid accounts, maybe some top 1 accounts, maybe some take profit trader accounts, maybe some top step accounts, because I'm trading all those along with live accounts. Let's see what we got here today, guys. Let's see what we got. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm going to get to the good mornings. I'm going to get to the good mornings. I'm going to get to the chat. Throw your questions in. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. We got about 2 minutes to the open. Eventually, I'll figure out how to pull up here early enough to yap to you guys before market open, but you guys are usually pretty late to hop on. I usually don't have a bunch of you on here for market open anyway. Gonna be looking to run the same mean reversion style play that I always run here, guys. Took the nice full L yesterday, as you can see here. This was a trade from yesterday. Unfortunately, got cooked on that one. Market wanted to sell off, and as you can see, we are all the way back up here to the middle ground. This area of high volume that I was targeting yesterday. Sold off really aggressively. Big push in the overnight session back up. Pretty uneventful for FOMC. Obviously, a lot of action into today. We got some big movement pre-market. Push to the upside. Came back to this middle ground. And now we're pulling right back down to VWAP. I'm going to try to frame this out with you guys. As the market is opening up right now. Just making sure I can be logged into News Squawk here to catch some of what we got rolling as the market's opening up. I'm not going to do anything right into the open. I think there's a clean retest of VWAP for a long play. I think that could be some serious buying pressure if you wanted a long off of VWAP here today. I don't think I'm going to look for that. It's not really my play here on YM at all. I don't know that I'm going to have a beautiful one based on the structure. Taking a look at NQ, really aggressive pop, really aggressive pull back down, really aggressive push back up, and kind of similar where we're above VWAP trending back down. ES, somewhat similar as well. You know, none of these as weak as YM was yesterday. Higher time frame, obviously looking quite different here. You know, this is NQ's higher time frame daily, cracking all-time highs. You know, here we are on YM, right? Not even cracking yesterday's high. Not cracking, you know, these weekly highs, let alone all-time high. So, quite different structure this week out of these, which is important to note. But to talk about a mean reversion play, unless we were pushing to the upside into the open, which we are not, I don't really have one here. I'm not going to sell immediately into the open, into selling pressure back down towards VWAP. I don't like this at all for pre-market. We have a big range. We've already traded almost 800 points in pre-market. We've exceeded every daily range and session range, right? For the last, like, week. This is just not great structure to trade off of, to be completely honest. Saw it this morning after my run. Really didn't love this. One thing I will say is, yeah, I woke up and saw NQ starting to push back to the upside, and I felt like that might be a nice long back towards highs, but here we go, coming back down. So, long story short, I'm sitting patient. Overall, this market is looking like we want to make the case back up. I was shooting for the mean reversion from this zone to push back up here yesterday. Took the L. Here we are back at my target from yesterday after a nasty sell-off. Sell-off in overnight session. Big push up in pre-market, right? After testing this zone right here. What did I say yesterday? If we weren't going to hold here, where did I think we were going to head? All the way down here. The levels are leveling. It's just about timing. Just about timing for sure. Overnight session, I gotta say as well, last night I was really tempted to take a long from this level down here with a wide stop. I don't know that that would have worked for me, just to kind of talk about this. Yeah, that wouldn't have worked for me. This would have probably taken me out. I saw this last night down here, and I thought, man, a long from this level all the way back up here, it would feel really good, really clean, because I think we're either going to sell off or we're going to pop right back up. But to be honest about that, overnight session long, yeah, I probably would have ran something like this. And that, I got to be honest, that probably would have taken me out. Yeah, that would have been midnight. What was NQ looking like last night? No, I was not looking at NQ last night. Anyway, that's what we got rolling here today, guys. I'm going to sit patient. I really don't like the shorts on this, which looks like the only mean reversion I might get. I don't love the shorts on this. It would be valid up here, outside of this area of high volume, kind of playing this range again. The longs are dicey. The longs are dicey, man. You know, there's a mean reversion to say, or a back to, you know, current volume point of control, reversal, whatever you want to call this, right? Let's pull out the drawing tool. You know, if we say, hey, this is, you know, the area of high volume, this is the mean, this is the price action consolidation that we want to trade towards. We got tons of overlapping volume points of control. If we come down here or we come up here, we want to fade that back down or fade that back up, right? It's not bad. This is, you know, getting short up here is really counter to this price action market structure. Higher time frame, we've continued to push to the upside. We consolidated, swept lows, pushed back up. Let me get rid of some of this because it's turned into a mess. And now we could definitely make the case to, you know, to head back towards all-time highs after taking everybody out with this price action right here. I could see that. I could see that happening. I don't mind the longs. But it's not a clean mean reversion trade. We've got big overnight session, right? Well, exceeding, like I just said, daily ranges, session ranges, 800 points, almost 800 points here. That does not give me a good way to structure risk, right? If I'm getting long in here off of VWAP, shooting for a mean reversion back up here, right? Back to this area of high volume. Where is my stop loss? Where is my stop loss here? Here? Is that a good invalidation point? Is this a good invalidation point? Is this a good invalidation point? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't give me a really good way to structure risk. So, that's how I'm reading this today. You know, how I trade YM intraday for NYSE session. What is becoming more and more clear to me, just abundantly obvious, this market is very, very, very difficult to work with trading just one session. We have moves all over the, you know, all over the place. Sometimes Asia, London is going to chop. Sometimes we're going to get huge movement. Sometimes NYSE is going to chop. Sometimes we're going to get huge movement. I'm really, like, as zoomed out as I am, I'm really becoming more inclined to be the swing trader and just take trades, you know, off of my key levels, hold them for longer periods of time because it's difficult to work with intraday. Really difficult to work with intraday. You face a lot of challenges trying to do that. Margin requirements, overnight session, risk. You know, inability to manage trades, inability to be at your desk. There's a whole lot of drawbacks there, but I gotta say, pulling up to the charts for 930, man, has been tough. It's been really tough. Been getting paid. Great win rate here on YM. Tons of payouts getting taken. Scalping NQ, you know, during NYSE session. All that stuff working well. But I get a lot of days like this where I'm just looking at stuff like this or choppy back and forth, and it's just tough to say, all right, we're gonna get it in an hour here. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, long story short, let's map out the levels now that we're opening up, chopping back towards current volume point of control, temporary volume point of control on visible range volume profile, current session volume profile, very high in yesterday's range. Just taking a look at this. This feels like we just want to go up. This feels like we want to run the highs into Friday. Like, I don't want to speculate on higher time frames here, but we got past FOMC. We took everybody out to the downside, took everybody out here. That was the move yesterday. Unfortunately, no reversion, just a drift lower. This feels like a higher time frame, run stops, and now we're ready to go. So I really want to be cautious short in this thing. I do want to be cautious short in this. Of course, we could start to break structure to the downside, right? We could start to pull this crap. Right? Beautiful retest, and then what do? Head lower. Retest, head lower, right? That's not what I'm... That's really not how I'm reading this, though. You know, zoom out on the U.S. indices, and you'll see why most people are just perma bulls. Yeah, YM, man. Not going to make it easy for me today. That's okay. That's okay. We can work with this. We'll start to get a feel for these bad boys. Letting the market open up here. Trying to get a feel for what we're looking at today. Yeah, just not in alignment at all. A lot of traders don't like to trade the U.S. indices when, or one of the U.S. indices when they're not moving in alignment. And we've definitely got that from yesterday into today. These are not on the same page at all. We saw it all day yesterday. NQ pushing highs, YM selling off, ES drifting around. This is going to be interesting. My gut tells me, my read of this is that we just push highs today. That we don't get it. That this is it. This might be the only pullback we get. We don't really dip our toes down here. We don't dip our toes down here. You know, we're not really going to come outside of this big chunk of volume. This is going to change in a second. And, you know, that's going to be enough. We're just going to test this level again and then pop. That's kind of what I'm looking at here. But it's just not my trade. It's not my trade on YM. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wait patiently for my mean reversion style trade, my aggressive entry to the upside or downside. I'm going to wait for that, but I'm just mapping out what I'm seeing, right? We got some nasty, pretty wild structure. Not nasty structure, just pretty wild structure, right? You know, very different than what we've seen in here. Yesterday was quite different as well. So I'm trying to map that out for you and let you know what I'm looking at. Yeah, this is gonna be waiting for a crack lower. That was not nearly enough. Not nearly enough here. It's gonna be waiting for a crack lower. This is gonna be my preference today. Crack lower, maybe into the 49,000 evens, right? Maybe into this key level. You know that I was looking at. I was looking at yesterday after I got in long here, where we found quite a bit of buyers. Fill some of this imbalance. You know, grab some liquidity down here, run stops, and then continue to the upside. That would give me the mean reversion play. It wouldn't give me a good way to structure risk. Not a great way to structure risk at all in here. But it would give me a back to the, you know, the middle ground that I look for. I don't know that I'm going to short this. I should, to a degree, because it's going to be a valid trade, but discretion comes in here, right? I don't know that I want this. I don't know that I want this. If we get it. I don't know that I want that. I don't know if I want that smoke, chat. I don't know if I want that. So, so far, not much of anything. Holding above VWAP. You know, chopping here at current session, volume point of control. Kind of where we settled after this big 630 pump to the upside this morning. Let's see. Let's see. But one thing for next week. One thing for next week. And I've started to do this. I'm going to be much better prepared, and I want to talk about it. I'm going to be much better prepared and ready and active trading all throughout the day. Futures trade pretty much all but 1 hour of the day and the weekend. I'm going to be ready to take some swing trades, both in live accounts and overnight swing trades in prop accounts, because you can't trade prop accounts through session changeover, whether they're sim, evals, or live, as far as I'm aware. So just prep for that. Prep for that. Probably look more at that on NQ. I just like the continuation style movement on NQ a bit better. Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting one. Very interesting one. Again, a lot going on this week. FOMC, tons of earnings. End of the month, right? That's definitely that's definitely moving some stuff around here. Anyway, let's see what we get. Again, guys, I don't know that I'm gonna short this. Honestly, I'm not gonna pull it on NQ. I just don't you know, I don't mind trading NQ. My data has shown me that I just really don't have as great of an edge on NQ as I do on YM into the open. I seem to have a much better edge on NQ, positioning myself really anytime outside of right into NYSE open. But going for these higher time frame swing trades, you know, more continuation style than a mean reversion style on NQ. I think it's just so aggressive that I probably struggle to try to find tops and bottoms for my entries. But this looked really tasty for a long. That's why I was coming back to this so many times. I'm curious to see, you know, what something like this would play out like. I'm not taking this, but obviously I'm just curious to see what something like that would play out like. Just a dip down to the bottom of this area. Current session volume point of control. Top end of yesterday's value area high for a long. Just trying to play with this structure. You know, stops down below here. Curious to see what that would look like. So I'm gonna leave that there. Yeah, man, this thing's gonna go. Again, it's not my trade from in here, guys, right? And here's the thing, because a lot of people will say, well, Zach, you said like bullish like 10 times. You said you think it's going to go up. You said you think it's, you know, we swept lows, we took everybody out, now you're bull. Like, why don't you just buy, right? There's a difference between having a strong indication of one thing over another based on your subjective read of, you know, price action market structure, and having risk and capital allocated to exercise that over and over and over again so you can run this through a large sample. Right? If I'm only going to pull this crap today and, you know, take a breakout on YM, I might get it today, right? But like yesterday, I'll be wrong sometimes. And I'm not going to collect enough. I'm not going to trade for long enough. I'm not going to put enough trades in to allow that edge to play out in my favor over a long, you know, large sample size. So, you know, I'm talking about that. I'm interested to see what happens. I am definitely interested to see what happens here. But I don't like to step so far out of what I do. I'm already very discretionary as it is, right? If I allow myself that much freedom, there becomes no consistency. There becomes a completely different approach to the market every day. And, you know, you turn into one day you're a reversal trader, one day you're a continuation trader, one day you're a breakout, one day you're a, you know, sweep of liquidity, and that's no good. So I will say I'm trying to differentiate a little bit NQ to YM. And when I don't do that, a couple weeks ago, I swapped to NQ just to try to get more risk on in the top one live account. It bit me pretty nicely. So just the thought there. But if I watch this thing break and run, you know, I won't really be surprised. But I'm going to wait for my entry patiently, right? I'm going to wait for my setup to come. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. You know, that's part of the game. So, chat, now that we got through all of that, 9:45. We didn't really talk news, but I'll keep you guys updated on that. What's up? Good morning. I see someone said Zackety McZack. Good morning, Chatty McChat. What's up? Vincent, good morning. Sam the Trader, good morning. Trevor Smith, what's up? Good morning, America. Good morning, America. Good morning, the world. What's up, guys? What is going on, guys? Alan, what's up? Pam, what's up? For a break, what's up? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Watching from South Africa. That's awesome, dude. I would love to get to South Africa one day. What's up, guys? How we doing? Queen Zara, Afters, 30MD30, XOBY, Eric, Purple Ninja, Ivan, Gus, JNRV, and Johnny, Enzo, Trader. What's up, guys? Sloth on Kick, what's up? Sloth sent a picture in the chat yesterday. I'm gonna pull up Discord later of a monster fish. It's awesome. All right, let's answer some questions, guys, as we're waiting for this market to do something. Again, talked about my analysis on this, guys. This is not my preferred structure to trade on YM. Big sweep down in an uptrend, massive push in the overnight session, consolidation near the top, no pullback, and then breaking the highs. Unless you're a breakout trader, this is just not going to be a lot to work with. So I'm going to wait patiently, and we'll see what we get from here. Normal, what's up? Hey, Zach, how are you doing today? Good. Good morning. What's the difference between session changeover and overnight? So, here is session changeover, right? Futures, session ends right here. You can see it on the chart. Take a look at the 1 minute chart, right? If you go to your continuous back adjusted chart or your continuous, whatever instrument you're trading, you will see on the 1 minute chart, this market stopped trading at 16:59, right? This is New York session time. Well, technically, this is just 24-hour time. And it opened back up at 1800 hours, 6 p.m. Eastern, right? So that would be session changeover. What I call session changeover. I don't know if there's another term for that. I think it's the overnight session. Most live brokers will call it the overnight session. But what happens here is we have margin requirements that increase significantly. Go to any, broker site, go to Tradeovate, go to AMP, go to Iron Beam, or, whoever you Everclear, whoever you want to look at, one of the other big ones, right? There is a margin requirement to trade one YM mini, one YM micro, right? Throughout the trading day. And then there's a margin requirement to hold through this period right here, through the overnight session, right? But what we're calling session changeover. It's significantly more. Why, right? There's a number of reasons why, but the obvious one, just to make it really easy, is that there's massive increase for risk, right? We could gap in one direction, which you've seen a lot in this market. The market closes, right, for session changeover, end of day, end of near NYSE session. And it opens up. Traditionally we've seen this, of course, over the weekend, right? Closed on Friday, opens up Sunday night. Big gap, right? Massive gap. That's a problem. That's a problem if you don't have the money in your account to, account for that win or loss, right? And brokers are not just going to take that on without requiring that. You will also see margin requirements change around, high volatility periods from live accounts and all that type of stuff. But prop firms do not allow you to hold through here. Most of them require you to be out at 4 o'clock, 4:15 p.m. Eastern, right? Like right after session changeover. And then they allow you to open positions starting at the open of the next session, 6 p.m. Eastern, right? So that's what we're talking about there. Hopefully that helps. You can swing trade futures. You could hold futures for long periods of time, right? There's just a different type of risk for doing that. Well, there's different types of risk for doing everything, but, those are some of the things to take into consideration. Gus, what's up? Looking for an open long on NQ. Yeah, was looking at long on NQ. What's up, guys? What's up? Trying to get the Elite Access account, but it's not letting me apply the coupon. Trevor, you can't use code RDF? Let me know what's going on. I will test it right now. If you guys don't know, code RDF is going to get you the best deal on all accounts from Top 1 Futures, from Lucid, from Take Profit Trader, from Alpha, pretty much everybody. But let me know what's up. If it's not working, I'll shoot them a message right now. Code RDF gets it done. Hey, Zach. When futures opened last night, I caught about 120 points on MNQ longs. Asian session has been pretty good recently. Do you trade Asia more or New York? What's up, Dylan? No, I don't like to trade Asia. I made a couple of joked memes about trading Asia session. I trade actively as far as sitting at my desk, looking at order flow, looking at news, looking at the charts, very focused for NYSE session. That's what I've done for a long period of time now. What I talked about at the beginning of this session, this live, and what I've done a lot in the past is what I would call swing trading. You know, I don't know where the line is, right? What's scalping to day trading to swing trading? There's some to position trading to investing. There's some definitions in there. But what I would do through Asia pre-market, you know, end of the day, is what I would call swing trading. I will check the charts with the idea of entering a position, whether that be using a market order, setting a fixed take profit and stop loss, or using a limit order or a stop order and a bracket, right? Fixed take profit and stop loss, and then not watching the charts, right? I sleep. I'm a human. So if I do that after session changeover, I'm swing trading. And a lot of futures traders will call that an overnight swing trade, right? They're not trading through session changeover. They're trading after session changeover. So they're entering a trade during Asia, and then it's overnight session for New York, which is, you know, on the East Coast. You know, that's kind of the way that it's referenced across most of the markets. Sorry for being discriminatory to everybody else in the world. But then maybe you would be looking at the trade and what happened when you wake up for, you know, pre-market, for London, for New York, with the intention not to hold through the next New York session close. You would be closing out at some point, you know, during that same day. So technically it's still an intraday trade, but that's what a lot of guys will call an overnight swing trade, right? Overnight swing on something. You know, what I talked about doing even more of is potentially holding through session changeover in live accounts, right? Again, there's a lot of risk doing that. It's just different. But the way that I trade Asia, or, you know, have in the past, is throw a trade on with a limit order, with a market order, wide stop, wide take profit, and I'm going to sleep, right? I'm gonna, you know, be with my family, I'll have some dinner. I'll be checking the market when it opens up, and then maybe just the intention to run it all the way until it hits a take profit. So that's what I like to do. I don't prefer scalping Asia at all. I've traded London a lot in the past in Forex, and even that can just be lower volatility. I've traded live with you guys for London session a couple times. I've woke up in the middle of the night my time and traded London with you guys a couple times, scalping it. I don't like it as much. I just don't like it as much. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. But I'm doing more of that. It seems to pay me really well. I think I have a good eye for it. I think I can hold my trades longer than most traders. You know, we all have strong suits, right? And it's important to be honest about our strong and weak points. So, you know, I think I'm going to try to cater more to my strong suits as I progress as a trader, as I have more accounts to trade, both props, live, and then also do that with options, right? Options are a pretty good medium to do that with. You don't really have the crazy margin requirements that you would need to swing trade futures, especially minis. You can get, you know, moderate expiration date options, right? On, you know, maybe things like SPX or even QQQ if you're not going to trade, what is it, DIA? So, yeah, that's the thought. Morning, Nate, what's up? Morning, Queen Zara, what's up? It works, but it says it costs $75. It's supposed to cost $49. So all of that is wrong. It's supposed to cost $39. It's supposed to cost $39. Yeah, bro, I don't know what's going on. Trevor Smith 3827. I'm going to ask this clearly before I shoot them a message. When you go to the site and you go to purchase an eval and you input code RDF, right? In the Elite Access account, which is the one that you're trying to purchase, it should come up as $39 all day, every day. If it doesn't, please do me a favor. Shoot me a screenshot to DM in Discord, and I will send that directly to their team, and they'll fix it pretty much immediately. So let me know. Just do a once over, and then shoot me a DM. As we're doing what I expected here on YM, as we're not doing what I expected here on NQ or ES. So yeah, let me know, brother. Nice. I typically trade momentum and expansion. I try to hold runners for 100 points. Wait for big moves like yesterday. Max 7 earnings, the catalyst. I do better holding and trading on slightly higher time frames versus trying to scalp and queue like a madman all day. Yeah. Nate, what's up? Still working through getting myself back. Nice. Tushar, what's up? Trevor, where do I DM you at? In the main chat, Trevor, click on my name, click on my face from the main chat from anything that I've posted, and then write me a DM. That's how you could do that in Discord. Yeah, so guys, like, here's the thoughts. All right, here's the thoughts. Everybody's gonna have a forte. Everybody's gonna have a specialty, and there's no one right or wrong way to do it. You could scalp NQ like a madman on the 30-second chart profitably. You could swing trade the 4-hour chart in Forex, you know, or even on the US indices profitably. You could trade stocks profitably. You could short small caps, which I think you got to be a crazy person to do, and there's an insane amount of risk. You could sell options properly, even though I think most people are picking up pennies in front of a train and waiting to blow up. But you can do a bunch of different things in the markets, right? I do think it's not objective, but I do think when you get on the lower time frames, trying to scalp, right, aggressively, really aggressively, you're opening yourself up to a lot of different risk factors that you just, and a challenge that you just do not have on the slightly higher time frames with slightly less frequency of trading. And the reason that people like to scalp NQ so aggressively, and ES and futures on the low time frames, is because of the opportunity, right? Is because you're not going to have sessions like, you know, where we're chilling out right now, waiting for 30 minutes, right? You're probably in and out 47 times. But that increased opportunity, in my humble opinion, comes with a challenge, right? There's no free lunch. So on the lower time frames, the biggest two risks that I see, the biggest two risks, because I believe time frames are fractal, price action and market structure forms very, very similar. You know, your edges can be very, very similar, but there's two things that stand out to me. Number one, it's way faster. It's objectively faster. You have to be faster at entering, exiting, managing your trades, position sizing for volatility, you know, understanding all of the tools, technicals, fundamentals. It is way faster. And because it's faster, it's harder. It gives you way less time to think, way less time to process things, right? And the other big part that, you know, I really recognize the difference is it opens you up to it's more challenging on the emotional side, on the psychology and mindset side. You are opening yourself up to more wins and more losses within one trading session. And here's the example. I and most traders that are swing traders, they don't know what tilt is. I didn't know what tilt was. I never tilted. I didn't know what tilt was. I shouldn't say that. I had no real idea of the level that tilt could get to until I came over to scalping futures. I really did not. You just don't have an opportunity. You're going to enter a trade or two, and you're not going to just keep trading like a crazy person. I mean, I guess you technically could, but in swing trading, where you're entering, you know, positions that you're not even, you know, getting filled on yet, with brackets, like, you're not opening yourself up to this challenge of managing taking multiple losses in a trading session and then still being able to execute well. So when you open yourself up to that, man, you really have to have your psychology, your mindset in order, like really, you know, really well. And most traders don't, So it's not that high time, you know, a lot of traders go sideways where it's like technically and fundamentally the high time frames are better. You know, I don't know. I don't think that's true, but I think there's a reason that a lot of bigger traders will kind of say the same thing. There's not many guys at all that trade the low time frames well. There's very few. And as the time horizon gets longer to higher time frame intraday, to swing trading, still day trading, but swing trading, to investing, there's so much more success over here, right? Way more success. If you look at the number of people that are, you know, maybe you would call them like moderately active investors that are essentially long only position traders, the success rate for them to make money in the long term or for all of the time that they've been trading against intraday scalpers is insanely higher, right? Now the opportunity is way lower over here, but there's a trade-off. With that opportunity comes increased risk. So think about that. If you're on the 1 minute chart, the 5 minute chart, try to scalp NQ, taking 5 trades a day, you are at the most difficult level, in my humble opinion. You are at the most difficult level with the highest chance of failure, the highest chance of tilt, the most risk, and the lowest chance of success, right? Also the most opportunity, which is why everybody does it. We know why everybody just full ports NQ at the open. Big opportunity, right? Biggest risk. So that's my 2 cents there. For me, I just do what pays me best. I try to not do what doesn't pay me, and I try to do what pays me best. Right now, and in the past, let's say 8 to 9 months, trading YM off of the open on the 15-minute chart, primarily the 15-minute chart, which really doesn't matter. I could watch this on the 1 minute if you wanted to. I could watch this on the hourly if I wanted to. It doesn't really matter. I'm not utilizing a specific time frame price action. But watching this on a moderately higher time frame and taking, on average, 1 trade a day. Some days I'll take 0 trades. Some days I'll take 2 trades. I think it would be an anomaly if I took 3 trades on YM specifically, during the same day during NYSE session. That's what pays me best. That's what's gotten me to live accounts. That's what's gotten me to 6 months in the same live account to 26 payouts. Multiple taking a damn payout almost every day nowadays. It's absolutely insane. So I'm going to continue doing that, right? On NQ and overnight session, I've had a lot of success, right? I've had a lot of success as well. At YM as well, ES as well. Overnight session. NQ scalping all day, every day, intraday, as far as what is sustainable and scalable outside of just prop account flip days or really aggressive prop trading, not so much. Not so much. Really not so much. Anyway, just kind of going around on these guys, taking a look what this one would have looked like down here, just out of curiosity. Yeah, I gun to my head, I think these push to the upside today. Post FOMC, we don't have a lot of news for the rest of the week. Looking at the news calendar, 10 a.m. ISM manufacturing, that just came in. That's really not much. Sorry, excuse me, that's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. We don't have much today, and we have ISM manufacturing PMI, manufacturing prices tomorrow at 10 a.m. That's medium impact, not a lot. I think headline risk is the big market mover. Yeah, I'm gonna sit patient on this, man. And like I said, for next week, guys, and I won't be able to share a lot of it in real time just because I can't physically make content all day, every day. But somebody asked me in Discord yesterday, and I'll pull up Discord later. We'll go through some chat. Somebody was asking me, can you do trade recaps? And I always get asked this stuff. Like, whatever I don't do, everybody wants, right? If I didn't trade live, you'd want live trading. If I didn't make short form, reels, somebody would want short form reels, right? So I do tutorials. I talk about the tools that I use. I'm going to be doing more trade recaps, right? And, hopping on the chart after the fact, which is, not as helpful as live trading, but reviewing just a lot more of my trades, right? Maybe some overnight swing trades, what went well, what went poorly. After the day, with you guys here, just kind of reviewing. So I'm going to be taking more time to be focused on trading around the clock, really swing trading around the clock. And then I'll review some of those, right? To give you guys the sauce, you can see what I'm doing, what's working, what's not working, and that type of a deal. But it's not something I'm going to call out nonstop. Trading live for hours every day, making a whole bunch of content around my trading, reviewing so much as a whole. I'm probably not going to try to do another channel where I call out swing trades. Just adds too many layers throughout the day. And I'm not at my desk as I'm doing them usually. All right, it's after the fact Asia session when I'm waking up for, you know, the morning, late afternoon, right? You know, could be on the run as alerts are getting hit on my phone, you know, that type of deal. Man, oh man, not much out of this market. Not much out of this market. A lot of comments coming up on the news front. Market really not reacting too much just yet. Not reacting too much just yet, at least on YM. Looks like ES and maybe NQ didn't like what he had to say. Yeah, turn into the downside here pretty aggressively. Flat CVD. Yeah, man. I'm sorry. I'm reading News Squawk. News Squawk is so good. Even with headlines and the reports and the, you know, analytics, they drop reports all the time. U.S. equity open, and it's a nice write-up about, you know, about the U.S. indices and what's going on. Let's see. Send the screenshot. Cool. I will send this over to them. Yeah, give me a second. I'm going to send this over to them right now. Let's fix what's going on. Yeah, slow grind higher here on YM. Man, it's all good. We'll see. See what Marcus got for me today. All right. I'll let you know. Oof. Oof. Again, guys, I'm not in this. Didn't take this. You know, watching. Said I was interested on a pullback on NQ. Obviously, you'll know if I'm in a trade here. But that's interesting to see. Yeah, these are not living in the same world today. NQ and ES are. YM just completely in its own world. As per usual to a degree. Let's see. Send screenshot. Oh, yeah, cool, man. Yeah, Trevor, don't worry, man. I'll get you an answer pretty quick. Hang tight. Trade on Top Step XFA and use the lockout feature to keep myself in check. I know myself there comes a point where I don't give an F and get dangerous on tilt, so I know my weakness. Awesome. Yeah, most people. That's most people. Hard button to hit sometimes. I locked myself out 10 minutes ago after a nice base hit. It was good because I oversized in my practice account. Nice, Mike. Lockout has helped me pass combines and get to XFA level. Super important in my opinion. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I got you. I got you, Trevor. I got it. Yeah, the deal is, guys, we have to know our upper limit. And using the tools that are available to us, like the lockout features on Top Step X, on Tradeovate, you know, if they're helpful to you, I think do it. You know, go for it. Why would you not use the guardrails in bowling if when you roll a, you know, strike, you get paid $1,000 and it doesn't matter if you use the guardrails or not? You know, use the guardrails. You can't handle it. And until you can start to handle it, leave them on. Eventually, I am of the camp, though, eventually, you're going to have to build the discipline. You're going to have to build the understanding. You're going to have to build the, self-regulation, the emotional control, to not tilt and to not need something to, to tell you not to tilt, right? That's important. You're not always going to have that. You're probably eventually striving to be on a, on a live platform, managing more live capital, and you're not going to have that, right? You're always going to have a way to damage yourself. So, that can build the right habits or help you build the right habits, right? It's like a kid learning to ride a bicycle. You can't use training wheels because you're not always going to have training wheels. Like, no, use the training wheels, right? So you don't just fall off 37,000 times and break your leg and you never learn to ride the bike. Same thing with trading. Eventually, those training wheels got to come off, though, you can ease yourself into that a little bit. But, that's kind of the thought process. So use the tools. Use the tools. It's an edge. Yeah, I'm going to watch this one. So you can go back at the beginning of this if you guys want. I don't like to say hindsight anything. I talked about having a really strong bias to the upside, not wanting the shorts, feeling that this was going to push and not give me a way to structure risk. That's what we've continued to do. And again, this is just not my trade. So I'm going to sit patiently here for my trade to come. If it starts to come, I might throw something on NQ. I don't really want to just long such a nasty sell-off here, but I don't mind something like this. Like I talked about into the open, it could be pretty dicey. But I'm not gonna. Here's what let's just talk about this for a second before I do anything. Let's just talk about this for a second before we pull anything. I'm not really gonna have a setup on this, guys. Not really gonna have a setup on YM. So I think I'm gonna throw one on NQ. Again, don't have as high of a hit rate there. The trades usually are gonna be quicker and larger losses or quicker and larger wins. This one just continuing to drive higher. And if we roll over and come back to VWAP, I don't know that I want it. I don't know that I want it down here. Like I said, I really don't want the shorts. Mapping out this aggressive push lower here. Oof, that'll be nasty. That'll be a nasty wick if we turn this to the downside. Nasty wick if we turn this to the downside. Looks like we might. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this one, guys. Patient so far, no trade if you hopped on late. I'm trying to find a spot to put a good trade on. Again, I take a lot of scalpy NQ trades. For flip days in prop accounts that require them, for evals, in prop accounts that require flip days. These are, these on the live are going to be what I would consider good full risk trades. Yeah, I might go for this on NQ. I think either the bottom's going to fall out and we're just going to sell off, or we're going to catch buyers down here around support again. Again, higher time frame, more continuation style as far as a continuation to the upside. I just... This one's interesting. Yeah, I'm going to see if we come down here and fill this last bit of liquidity, and I would take a long. I'm not going to take it from in here. That might be a low. I'm going to see if we crack lower and fill that last bit of liquidity down here. ES looked like it had the same, quite a bit to the downside, and then nothing. I don't know that we just absolutely sell off today, and I'm going to go for this higher time frame intraday swing on NQ here. I just do not want to position myself short, really at all. If it gave me away on YM without that crazy structure, maybe. But I'm looking for a crack down to this this area of liquidity down here. Right into the 27,075s. We got the last nice stack. It'd be this next level down here. Would allow me to get a stop loss way outside. So if we get something like that, I would take it. A lot of opportunity to the upside. Just back to current volume point of control. Wouldn't need to turn this into a huge day to the upside to catch a really, really nice trade. But I don't know that we're going to get that. Looks like we're rejecting so far. Oof. Continuing to drive higher. Yeah, so we're coming up to what would be a potential short area on YM. But I talked a lot about why I just do not like this short. This is a lot to step in front of. This is a lot to step in front of. And it's not really a pop off the open and a pullback to VWAP. It's a nasty drive higher. So I don't think that I'm going to short that. I short a lot of big movements. I don't know that I'm going to short that. I'm going to say right about now, and now that we're getting this last pop, right about now would be the play. I can map it with you guys just to say, hey, look at you not getting aggressive where you should be getting aggressive. I'm going to say right in there with my normal 200-ish point stop with a pullback right down here. Just too aggressive. I don't want to pay to find out if that one's going to work or not. Too aggressive. Not the structure that I need. Not the structure that I need. The only thing that's playing into this is just daily, average session, daily, and average session ranges. Like, how far are we really going to go? How many points are we going to trade to the upside off of the low today? We've already exceeded a lot. A lot of people like to trade from those extremes back down. Yeah, I want to get something on with you guys, and I'm fighting the urge to just throw a trade on because they're not fantastic, and I don't like to take dumb losses. But I'm gonna wait and see what happens here on YM and NQ. I'm either looking at an NQ long or YM short here for a fuller risk trade. What's up, guys? What's up? Trump news, yeah. Today, which account giveaway? I don't know, bro. I don't know. You're gonna have to wait and find out. You're gonna have to wait and see, guys. Why not micro? A HUD L at mini. I don't know what HUD are. Huge L, maybe? I don't really love to trade micros. Whew. Nice push out of YM here. NQ turning back to the upside. Looks like the longs might have paid. Yeah, I could run something on NQ, man. Again, I don't love this. Don't love this. I'm gonna wait. I think I'm gonna get something on, but I'm gonna wait for it. I'm gonna wait for it, and I got a feeling I'm gonna get paid today. I'm not going anywhere, chat. We're not done. We're not done yet. YM short on an insane if you want the mean reversion play on YM, but this is dicey. This is dicey. But I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer on NQ and YM. We get a crack down to fill this liquidity on NQ. We go and sweep those lows again. I'm gonna run that long. I'm gonna run that long. YM, it's a short for me, but I don't want to short it. Don't want to short it. Not great structure. Not really a valid trade. 10:30 after we traded down near VWAP and then, you know, pushed to the upside. We've just been grinding higher, 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 higher. It's not a really nice aggressive pop to the upside that I'm going to fade. We're not grabbing liquidity and then coming right back down. I'm just shorting a continuous push to the upside. Like, that's not great. So, let's see. New Top Step news. Use the daily loss limit, get $10 off combines. Yeah, I made a post about that on X. Good morning. The amount of false advertising distorts all traders. That sucks. Who's got false advertising? We're talking about Top Step? Second stream here. Had to pop out earlier. So do you do giveaways each stream at the end? No. Guys, welcome to the show if you're new. We do giveaways here almost every day on the live stream. No purchase necessary, for the most part, for free. I do them random days, random times. Sometimes it's in the middle, sometimes at the beginning, sometimes it's during a trade, sometimes it's after a trade. Random days, random times, we do giveaways for prop accounts. What types of prop accounts? Sometimes eval, sometimes instant funded, maybe sometimes something different in the future. But we do giveaways here, random days, random times on the live session. So you got to be here in the chat to catch a form. You got to be in the free Discord to get the form, because that's where the form is. I will drop the Discord. Have to be in there for giveaways. Yeah, and that's the overview. Awesome. Okay, cool. Looking forward to watching more streams and learning more here. Yeah, awesome. Awesome. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, the giveaways are cool, man. I really do like doing giveaways. It's hard. It's really hard. Here's what I've learned after streaming and making content and doing giveaways, different things, and give it back. It's really hard, even with such an awesome community like you guys, to not end up giving giveaway accounts to scammers and spammers. I can see the back end. I'm very grateful when I do giveaways to collect information. And I collect information on all of the information, right? And I can also see data from where everybody's from and what they're, how they're using everything, from socials, from everybody that I'm partnered with. And in comparing that, it doesn't add up, right? The people that are watching the stream, the people that are interacting with my content, the people that are buying maybe accounts using my code, right, for the giveaways that I'm doing, are not always the people that are participating in the giveaways. There's a big portion that are not. And I could tell that in a number of different demographics of the people that are, part of the giveaways. So it's hard. I'm coming up with more unique ways to give back to people in Discord by ranking them up automatically, doing more giveaways for them, fun stuff like that. But the free stuff on Twitter, like here's a good example of it also. Twitter, I was doing giveaways on Twitter for a while, and I would get tons of followers, tons of engagement. It was great. And then Twitter said, hey, we're going to be killing a lot of bots today. We're going to be killing a ton of bots today. And to watch the drop-off of my followers on X after, you know, like not just doing some giveaways, I could tell that a ton of that was from the giveaways. A ton. So, you know, like, I'm trying to grain of salt it here, just do different things, but... you know, if I make it difficult because I don't make it super simple in one form and you click a button, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to make it hard to make it hard. I'm trying to make it so I can get the accounts to people that are actually, you know, here in the community watching, and not the scammers and spammers that are filling the form out with 40 different accounts, you know, and not watching, you know, excuse me, not watching all that fun stuff. Anyway, that's that. Man. Wow. Wow. Whoa, not that. Yeah, guys, I'm still sitting patient on this. This is just, YM didn't give it to me today. YM did not give it to me today. It's a short in here, and I just don't know that I want to short this market. It's given me all the time in the world to think about it, too. I'm looking for a long. Was trying to find something on NQ. Man, all the way back up to these highs, dude, and nothing up above. Just to like throw something on here to just take a look. Man, I'm tempted on this one, guys. I am tempted on this one. I don't know if I want to short this drive higher. That would be... like, how far are we going to run today? You know, is my question. I might look for this off the 600s. I don't know how much farther we could possibly run. High time frame level all the way back up to the top of this range. I might look for this off the 600s. I don't like it as much today. Just really don't. Could long NQ and short YM. This is fine for a long for me too. I'm not gonna jump into it, but man, I'm struggling to get one on here today, guys. I don't want to be too patient, but I just also don't want to take dumbass trades. I really don't. Here we go into the 600s on YM. Yeah, dude, there's so much opportunity back in here. I just don't know if I want to fade this freight train. I think I'm gonna have to. I'm not gonna get another setup like this. I'm not gonna get another setup in here, so I think I'm gonna have to. Arbitrary take profit way back in here, closing on discretion. I'd prefer not to trade NQ into the open. You know, we're at the next level here. If we're gonna push, I think we're going all the way back towards all-time highs. It's gonna be a huge up day. So Trading the 600s. Do I want to run this bad boy short? Let's see. Waiting for another little pop up here. I'm taking this one short, guys. Started to get a little bit of a reaction up here. I'm running this one short. Again, guys, here's my 2 cents here. I'm short 2 on YM from 49.607. Stop at 49.808. Take profit is arbitrary. I'm way zoomed out on a 15-minute here. I got to get some trading in. I don't have to, but I'd like to get some trading in with you guys. I'd like to get some trades on in this Lucid account now that I have loaded up. Otherwise, I'm just scalping for flip days, and I end up ready to take a payout with, you know, $1,000 in the account or $500 in the account. So I'm gonna run this bad boy short. It's aggressive. It's a mean reversion style trade. It's on a, you know, it's on a break all the way to the upside. It is not. Sorry, I gotta bring that down a little bit. Actually, we'll just leave it as it is. It's fine. It's just not the structure that I like to trade. I really don't like to short a freight train like this. We could just continue to drive higher and pop, you know, another 200 points, and you know that'll be a stop for me. I'm looking for this back down. This could be something that we can see a nice reversion on. Again, arbitrary take profit. You know, not something that I'm going to hold to. I close on discretion. I just enter with those so we can have an OCO order if we want one later into the day. If I'm on NQ, which I'm trying to keep myself off of, if I was on NQ, I'm taking a long, which tells you the discrepancy between these two today. But that's gonna be my play. That's gonna be my play today, guys. Mean reversion style play. It's after a big push. It's not into the open. I don't like it as much. I'd give this one a not beautiful play. Yesterday was very aggressive into the open on a push lower. I do like those more. A lot of opportunity if we start to get a rejection up here. But I am shorting a freight train, guys. Shorting a freight train. But I'm shorting a freight train after the freight train might be running out of steam, after we've traded through every key level that I have on my chart and we've exceeded every daily range up into the 1,000 point on YM. So I'm not looking for a complete reversal of the day, for this day to flip bearish, for, you know, a massive sell-off to come in. Just for a nice little pull back down to this area of high volume down in here, or even the top end of this wick. These wicks would be a $2,000 winner. So let's see what we get. I'll be the only idiot on YouTube shorting the market today. Cool, looking forward to stream. Vertigo Horizon, what's up? Naz, is that a good place for longs? Yeah, that's what I was looking at. You give away accounts on IG. Don't remember if I've seen that. Yeah, I give away accounts everywhere, guys. I give away accounts on IG, on X, pretty much every social, in Discord. I give away accounts everywhere. Different stuff across different platforms. If you want all of the info all of the time for all of the, all of the giveaways, hop in Discord. I try to always keep you guys updated. Took the long on NQ. Nice. Nah, bro, I shorted orb high. Took a stop. This market's insane. Yeah, market's all over the place, guys. This market is out of control. It can't be tamed. It cannot be tamed. Here, if you want to laugh, I posted this. I don't know. Maybe you'll think it's funny. Maybe not. I like making these dumb videos. I'm gonna throw this in Discord. Or I'll throw it in the chat also. Here's what it's like trading Trump markets. throw it in the chat for you guys. That's what it's like trading Trump markets. I don't know what drove YM to rocket overnight. Earnings perhaps? Yeah, that 6:30 move, man. Let's go to the tape. Hang on. Let's go to the tape, chat. I'll let you guys know. I'm asking the news pros, the analysts. But we had a ton of earnings, guys. So many different earnings, and I know that that's what's dragging NQ lower. What was it Meta and Microsoft? Those of you guys that trade NQ, you should probably know this. Yeah. Microsoft down, Meta down almost 10%. That's definitely dragging these guys lower. What drove YM higher? Let's find out. Again, there's not always an answer, right? It's not always, okay, the market went up and here's exactly why, right? Because, you know, of XYZ. When there's big movements like that, specifically on one industry over another, there's usually some, you know, some fundamentals behind some of that. Ton of earnings, though. Ton of earnings across all of them that don't affect each individual one. Let's see. I'm scrolling way back on headlines without getting too distracted here because we are still pushing higher. We started to get a nice reaction there. Not really a nice reaction, just a little bit. For those of you guys that hopped on late, I am short YM. Yeah, I don't know. I'll take a look. I'll take a look back through and find for you guys. There were some comments on the straight. Oh, a ton to do with oil, gas companies reporting earnings as well. Valero. Yeah, guys, a busy week here. Caterpillar. At 6:30, there was Trump reportedly considering significant new combat operations in Iran to resolve a deadlock. Boatload of earnings hit the tape at 6:30. New headlines dropping. What do we got? Not too much. Not too much. We had a couple of True Social posts, but they weren't really relative to the conflict. It was more about just them yelling about the Senate. 1033 was Israeli defense minister says they may soon be asked to move again to ensure the achievements of goals in Iran. Interesting. But let's see what the dudes whose job it is to know the answer to that question in detail say, if there is something, right? Because again, you know, sometimes the market's going to do its thing. It's positioning. It's you know, it's just massive movement in the market. Yeah. Okay. So there is a clear answer on this one, guys. Caterpillar earnings. Awesome. There we go. See, this is the benefit of News Squawk. If you guys wanna know where I got that answer from, and how you can get the same answer as me, because I don't like to gatekeep anything. I am partnered and affiliated with News Squawk. News Squawk is a real-time news headline audio alert service, as well as a text-based platform, as well as so many other things, like one-on-one access to analysts who have the answers to the question. Boom. This is due to Caterpillar earnings at 6:30 a.m., second largest weight in the Dow. They overperformed, and Caterpillar is up near 10% today. Okay? There you go. That's the answer. If you guys want to check out News Squawk, so you can get answers like that without having to ask me to ask somebody else, I'm happy to send it your way. Hang on one second. News Squawk is absolutely awesome. Shout out News Squawk. Hyped to be partnering with these guys. Hang on one second. If you want to check out News Squawk, because I'm not allowed to, I'm not allowed to ask. Yeah, you get direct access to them. Yeah, here I'm not allowed to stream this for that long, guys, because this is a paid platform. But I could just walk you through it real quick here, and I think that was a pretty cool example, right? You get access to analysts, professional market analysts. Again, this is a paid program. It's not AI. They are really as legit as they come. And it's going to be very helpful for stuff like that. Now, I had started to scroll, and if I had just scrolled a little bit more and read into this, because you can see I did click on it, you know, here was the answer. Here was the answer right here. So it was read aloud by them, but if you're not paying attention to the market and you're pulling up, you know, 3 hours later, you could ask for questions like that. Now, sometimes there's not going to be an answer like this. Sometimes it's not, hey, this is exactly why the market moved at this time, and, you know, you can check it all out here. Sometimes, you know, they're going to say, hey, it's probably not a news headline that moved that. Positioning, you know, maybe due to XYZ, but the market's just doing its thing. But if you guys want to check this out, I'll throw the link in the chat. Again, the big claim to fame is this right here. It is a up to the millisecond speed they're fighting for news headlines, alerts. Even before they're printed right here, which is super duper fast. Or if they're, you know, coming out on True Social or on Twitter or any other source, they're reading them aloud. You know, I don't always run it with you guys here because I was doing it last week and listening to two things at the same time. First off, because I can't broadcast it live to you guys for free. But it's distracting if I'm also talking to you in chat and we have music playing. And I can kind of just watch it on the side here. So, News Squawk. If you guys want to check out News Squawk, you could try it for $19.99. $19.99. Let me throw the link in chat. Code RDF gets you the deal. Boom, I'll throw it on Kick as well. Shout out News Squawk. Remember, guys, I'm partnered, I'm affiliated, I stand to make money, I can't be unbiased. You got to decide if stuff like that is helpful to you, right? I think trying something for a week for 20 bucks, you know, it could be pretty solid. Be really solid. So if you want to check it out, link is in the chat. I think it's also, like, different things are going to be really helpful during different times. We are in the most extreme version of headline-driven volatility that I've traded through, I'd say, in recent years, right? Conflict in the Middle East, Trump markets where it is so hanging on everything he has to say, geopolitical tensions, you know, tariffs was the most recent thing before this that was moving the market like insane. To have that news as fast as you possibly can, unscheduled as well as scheduled, and all of the other things they offer, you know, I think is a huge benefit as a trader. You know, I've shifted a lot of the way that I pay attention to things or discredit things. And, you know, so far paying attention to News Squawk and having headlines read as they're breaking is really interesting to try to integrate into my trading. And there's an example of it, right? Maybe you're saying, why did this happen? I don't even want to look. I just want to ask somebody. You know, that's why they get paid the big bucks. Let's send these. All right. Let's see. Took a W this morning. On the come up. Either about to take an L, even out the W, take a W, rocket into payout territory. Nice. All right, so here's a good example. Here's a good example. I'm gonna kick somebody from the channel. I usually don't, but after repeating myself over and over and over again, eventually I gotta use the ban hammer. Okay, so trading with Vagahel, however you pronounce your name, you've asked the same question over and over again, and I've answered it over and over and over again. It's exclusively about giveaways. If I click on your name, you've only ever asked about giveaways, and this is the second one today. So you're gonna get the kick now. Okay? Bye-bye. You can ask about giveaways if you pull up. Don't ask me the same question over and over and over again. Usually I don't read it out loud. Usually I would just kick you, but I'm gonna use that as an example, right? I'm a nice guy, right? But you know, like, I'm reading the chat a little bit. We're trying to talk here. You know, so if you're just here for the giveaway, I don't think it's gonna be helpful for you anyway. There's probably other streams you could watch and just be there for the giveaway. But you won't be here for the giveaway now. Too late to get into the trade. My trade? Kevin, first off, none of my trades are signals. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do here or anywhere else is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Trading's risky. Most traders lose money. If you trade, you're almost guaranteed to lose all of your money. It's a crazy thing to do. My trade here, for what I'm doing, is still very valid for me. It's going to be valid until it hits my stop loss or until it trades all the way down to these highs. In here. That's what I'm looking at. Right down into that level right in there. Okay. As far as an entry point, it's trading at my entry. So that should answer the questions. But I'd like to be really clear. You know, if you're here or on anybody else's stream to take signals from them, you will lose money. You will lose money. I can say that from experience here for years. I can say that from experience in, you know, watching other people, my own personal experience. I can say that with 100% certainty. If you're taking signals from anybody across any platform, you will lose money in the long term for multiple reasons. You will never be fast enough. Number one, there's latency on everything. Even if you are fast enough, you'll never be able to trade in the way that they are actually trading. You'll never be able to hold the trades long enough. You'll never be able to exit and enter where they're exiting and entering. You'll never get all of their trades because they're always doing things, you know, off of the live, including myself. And more importantly, even if all of that worked out, even if all of that was true, you would never learn how to trade, and you would be reliant on somebody. You would be tethering yourself at the neck with a leash to somebody that will inevitably not be there to give you signals, right? So the long-term sustainability, even if it does work, which it never has and never will, is not sustainable, right? Is not sustainable. You know, you won't take their trades when they start losing. You'll only look to take their trades when they're winning. You won't hold their winning trades as long. You'll enter after them when they're in drawdown. You'll start to do ridiculous things. I watch it happen all the time. The best traders in the world that trade live with extremely low latency, nobody can replicate their results. You know, nobody. And that's the reason. You know, that's why. So hopefully that helps. As we get a big push to the upside, watching the news, nothing immediately breaking. Started to get a little bit of a reaction. This did show me $400 some odd. Again, I got pretty heavy risk on. I'm going to hang on this one, man. I'm hanging on this one. As I'm hanging on all of them. Risk of NQ turning around. Again, was looking long down here. If I had to take one on NQ, it would have been long. Talked about it long in here, and that probably would have been a nasty stop. Looked at it long down here as we came down to the low end of this. If we weren't going to break the lows, I felt a move back towards VWAP. Could be in store. looks like what we're getting. Maybe YM is just going to drive higher today as these two play catch up. But we'll see. So again, guys, I hope that helps. I usually see views drop off when I say that. You know, again, it can seem like an easy thing, right? Just copy somebody else's trades, right? It doesn't work. It's never worked. It never will work. It's just not possible for all of those reasons that I mentioned, right? Don't do that. You're wasting your time, wasting your money doing that. You know, watching somebody else trade, what I'm doing here, right? Talking to you guys, sharing my journey, trying to share my experience, show you what's working and what's not working in real time, answer questions. I think that could be helpful for sure. But you have to make this your own, just like you have to make everything in life your own. You have to build confidence around something that you're going to do yourself. You could take tools from other people. You could take, styles and ideas and, information. In fact, that's how the world works, right? If you were going to, go to school for anything, you're going to read books, you're going to watch videos, you're going to go to lectures and, listen to people who are, maybe farther along than you and try to take from them. But you're going to have to learn that stuff for yourself, right? They're not going to spoon feed you through your entire career. So, make sure you are not trying to do that here or anywhere else. I can tell you with 100% certainty that it cannot work and does not work and will never work. I've never seen it work. I've never been able to make anything like that work. There's a reason that it's not allowed, that it's illegal. It doesn't work. And anybody that has half a brain, will tell you that. There's a lot of guys that don't, and it's like W's in the chat. Look at all the W's. Chat's eating today off my trades. All my trades called out. Like, that could be helpful, calling out trades, showing you how you're approaching the market, your read, right? But you got to do that stuff yourself. If you're just there to copy somebody else's trades, man, you're going to get cooked. You're going to get absolutely cooked. So, that's the thoughts. I see it does help. Cool. You should join streams to learn different trading methodologies. I don't like being dependent on others when it comes to pulling the trigger as a trader. Yeah. Yeah. Well-deserved kick, banhammered. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I hardly ever kick anybody from anything. I can't with the giveaway spammers, man. I can't do it. I'm collecting more data now. I'm realizing more stuff. It's just not good. This is not it. So we ain't gonna do it. But if you guys got questions, if you are hanging out with me, let me know in the chat. Say what's up. I'm gonna go grab some water. I'll be right back. I'm gonna leave this trade on. I am looking for a 200-ish point sell-off at very least for this to be a W. There'd be a case to be made to take profit if we came just right back into the top of this. And maybe we look for something like that. But I'm looking for a turn to the downside out of a very, very bullish market here. It is aggressive. Talked about the mean reversion style here. Talked about maybe not taking this one. But I'm putting it on. Obviously, it's on. NQ all the way back to VWAP. That would be really, really, really nice from the bottoms down here. Yes. Back above VWAP. Let's see what YM's got for me today, guys. See what YM's got for me. I'll be right back. Chat to me, chat. What's going on, guys? What the? There we go. What's going on, guys? We gonna catch a W today? We gonna catch the Dubski? We gonna catch a Dubski, chat? Come on, give me the little crack to the downside. Give me the payout. Give me another payout today, man. For those of you guys that have been following along, I have taken payouts every day for almost as long as I can remember. I have been trading a lot of different prop accounts individually, aggressively. I lose evals, I lose some funded accounts, and we work towards payouts on others. I took a payout yesterday, the day before that. It's been solid, man. It's been a really solid month. I'm trending towards a pretty solid month here with prop firms. It also included a really big day in my Top 1 Futures live account, a $12,000 day, so obviously that set the bar pretty high. But I really can't complain, man. I've got a pretty good rhythm with the accounts that I'm trading as far as the aggressive sim run that I wanted to start to go on this year, and I'm going to look to keep pushing it. I do think there's an interesting conversation to be had amongst firms and traders around upper limits of, traders with capital and experience, pressing it with prop firms, whether or not they're going to continue to allow that. But I'm going to leverage it for a bit with you guys because it seems like a great opportunity and really what everybody in the space is looking to see. So, but I'll continue to talk about it openly and honestly. Look at my last Twitter post. I posted it in Discord as well. I labeled it the prop firm problem, the one that nobody wants to talk about. Chat! I needed this because I'm still new to trading and thought copying trades was a good idea. Yeah, Kevin, no, it's a good answer, man. Yeah, good. I'm happy to provide some insights. Copying trades is not a good idea. Questions, concerns, comments. I'm gonna pull up Discord here in a minute, guys. I'm gonna let this trade play. We're coming into 11 o'clock. I'm gonna look for a crackdown here. I don't know that I'm gonna hold this to the floor, but I'd love to see a pullback on this. Obviously, right? I'm trading for that. So we're starting to get that. I'd love to dip our toes back in here. But we're gonna have to see. NQ filling it back out up to the upside for now. Just looking at the daily, which I do like to take a look on the daily. I know people go, why are you looking at the daily? You're trading intraday futures. High time frames, my brothers in Christ. High time frames. Powerful. Even here as I'm on the 15-minute, right? This is a 15-minute, high time frame structural trade, right? This is the reasons for it. Cracking outside, looking for a move right back down in here. Let's see if we can't grab 150 points on this. Would be pretty solid. All right, we had some questions. Live prop account versus funded eval account. Which do you prefer? Sand the Trader. They both present different opportunities. Right now, the live prop account has been getting worse and worse. It's been getting, tighter and tighter rules. It's been starting to act like a stop loss for traders that are, really aggressively hammering prop firms. But there's benefits to live, prop accounts. The problem is if you get to a live prop account and then you blow it, you're not allowed to do that. Maybe one time you get banned or you get a cooldown, but you're certainly not able to do that multiple times, right? So if you're trading well enough to get to a live account, you want to get to that live account and then try to stay there, or at least you have to. So, but I like live accounts as well. I trade personal live accounts. They're just very different. The risk and reward, the opportunity, are all very different. But what I do right now is leverage everything. I leverage everything. And what I wanted to display to you guys, and what I'm trying to display this year, and I think I have successfully so far, is that I can do both. You usually see traders, and I'm not like patting myself on the back, you usually see traders go one of two routes. They are actually learning to trade in, prop accounts and live accounts, and they go on to manage, one singular live account or multiple, live accounts, but they're not aggressively account flipping. They're not risking ruin. They're managing risk, right? I think I've displayed that over the last 7 months with you guys in that Top 1 Futures live account, right? To display what that looks like. And I've built consistency doing that in my own accounts, right? That's kind of where I transitioned into trading prop. The other side is you just watch guys go into prop and just trade super aggressively. And they make a boatload of money doing it. Some of them are pulling hundreds of thousands of dollars, but they're spending tens of thousands of dollars, right? They're not managing risk in the traditional sense. They're leveraging the asymmetry of prop accounts. Are they actually trading? Do they have a way to trade? Probably, right? You're not able to just 10x your money. I think if you gave it to somebody else, they wouldn't be able to do it. But it's very different. So I attempt to do both, or at least I'm attempting to do both this year. Trade props, sim prop accounts, very aggressive. If I don't do that, it's not a good use of my time. I would just be better trading my own live account. I can't create a positive ROI for me personally, for my experience level, my capital allocation, the risk that I'm putting on elsewhere, unless I trade them aggressively, right? Copy trading or getting really aggressive in evals and funded accounts. But that doesn't translate the same to live accounts. That does not translate the same to individual live accounts. Really important to note that. So I attempt to do both. I'm going to be the hybrid trader, the aggressive sim trader, and also the live account trader, okay? Can you do both? Most people cannot because they are different. You become, a nice, slow, profitable, consistent trader. That's great. Fantastic. Or you become an account flipper, which is, what we're required to do on prop firms. Look at the rule set. And again, this was a little bit of the problem that I was talking about in that Twitter post. I wasn't knocking prop firms. I wasn't knocking prop firm traders. I wasn't knocking regular traders or anybody else. I was just talking about something that I think needs to happen as far as a conversation in the space. Beautiful rejection here, guys. Can I wrap up my week on a W with you? I'm not trading live with you guys tomorrow. Quick note. No live trading tomorrow with you guys. I will not be on. Today is going to be my last day. I will be live all week next week, Monday to Friday, 9:15 a.m. Eastern. Right here, same place that I always am, YouTube, Kick, and X. For free. Appreciate you guys for being here. If you're not in the Discord, hop in the Discord. But yeah, questions, concerns, please feel free. We can continue that conversation. Trading personal capital save you on taxes. So live mostly makes sense on personal. What's your strategy? Fine, be that way. Leave us. Sorry, Mike. Yeah, I'm traveling. Gonna be with some family this weekend. But I'm traveling. So no trading on the live session. I will be trading, but no trading on the live session. You're watching my strategy, watch my videos. I'll be putting out much more, Kevin. Welcome to the show. I know it's your first time here. I got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of live trading logged, on YouTube that you can watch. So if you hang out for long enough, you'll watch my strategy play out in real time, my approach to the market. For better or for worse. Wins, losses, break-evens, run-ups and payouts, blown accounts, everything in between. Yeah, so we're talking about prop accounts, live accounts, right? Is it beneficial to continue to trade a live account with a prop firm? I would say yes for most people, right? First off, you got to that live account by taking payouts, and now you're in a risk-free live account with all of these benefits. It's great. If you compare a prop firm live account against a personal live account, apples to apples, does it make sense if it was your capital to trade the prop live? No, right? Obviously not. You have all these other rules and regulations and restrictions, but they serve a purpose, right? And the ability to leverage prop firms and outside capital, heavily the way that we're doing here, is an advantage. Is it a stepping stone towards trading live capital, or should I say, is there a point in your trading where the ROI, right? Is this the way that I look at everything as a trader, as a businessman, as a person, and when I look at it in athletics, what is the return on investment? What is the risk? What is the reward? There's a point if you get profitable, if you start to get profitable, which I don't like to talk in that term, but if you start to gain some consistency and you have capital, there's a point where you have to question, can I hammer props enough and copy trade enough accounts or trade them aggressively enough to create a positive return on my time and investment? Or should I just be trading a live account? And here's what I mean. If you're trading, if you have $500,000 of trading capital or $100,000 of trading capital, right? And you're standing to make or lose $20,000 every day, it would be really hard to replicate that, right? To create that delta on prop accounts. You would need to be trading them very aggressively and copy trading them or trading them across multiple firms, right? You know, so which is what you see me and a lot of other traders doing. You know, so it gets to that point. But starting out where most traders are, they're nowhere near that. So this conversation is really not for them. You know, live account versus personal account. Don't even worry about that, bro. You're not taking payouts yet. I'm not saying it to you guys. But, you know, I used to ask that all the time and rack my brain on it. Like, just worry about consistency. You're losing money or you're hardly making it. Keep that risk as low as possible and focus on gaining some consistency. Work towards a payout. Work towards 2 payouts, right? Slowly, right? Very, very slowly. Forget about the ROI on your time and capital. Then you start to gain some consistency. Look at the big picture, right? Where am I spending my time? You know, what does the long road look like here? What am I going to have to do? How is that going to influence me and my trading? You know, so, you know, can I do both, right? There's these 2 different paths. Can I only focus on doing one well? You know, do I have the time? What is my, you know, all of that stuff. So, I hope that helps a little bit. I know some of that is a little bit vague, but, you know, it gets to a point. It gets to a point with props. It gets to a point with, you know, live capital in different arenas where you have to look at your ROI, right? What is the opportunity? Is the opportunity good for you? Does it exist in the way that you need it to? So that's the thoughts. That's the thoughts. But I hope that props stay around. Futures props, forex props, I hope they continue to improve. I hope that they maintain the opportunity for newer traders to learn the way that they're able to learn right now on props. And I hope that the opportunity remains for more advanced traders to, you know, put money behind their trading and leverage that. I do think it's going to continue to change. I think the space is going to continue to change. You know, they're going to limit, you know, the just abuse, right? They're going to say, hey, this is what's, or not abuse. They're going to say, hey, this is sustainable. This is not sustainable, right? And the models continue to change, you know, drastically. It's very different than it was a year ago and a year before that and the year before that. So it's going to continue to change. As for this trade, sitting patiently showed me 800 some odd dollars worth of profit. This thing dropped about 82 points in my direction. We're finding some sellers up here finally. Again, dicey move here. I'm not looking to hold this for a huge reversion. I'm counter to today's trend, right? You know, all of the reasons to say, hey, see profit, take profit. I do have to hold my trades a little bit longer. Majority of my trades work out to be where I could have held them longer. Almost every single one, in fact. So I'm not looking for anything huge out of this. I would love to see a reversion back down towards this big chunk of volume. But at very least, these wicks from pre-market and then into NYSE session. I think the most aggressive spot to take profit would be right here towards the lows of this last, not last, but this 15-minute candle. Just the top end of that, right? If we were just going to dip our toe back in here and get bought right back up, like we're not going to come anywhere close to VWAP. We're going to hold this trend line here, you know, and just continue, right? That would probably be the, you know, the spot in here. I'm going to go in here. That's my play. Do we get there? Do we pop right through? Does Trump say something crazy? Who knows? We don't know. Anybody that tells you they know what's going to happen next in the market is an idiot or they're full of shit. You might have a strong indication of one thing happening over another in a large sample size, but you don't know what's going to happen next. Paradox that we have to deal with as traders. see what the market's got for me, man. Coming into 11 o'clock, 11:13. Let's see. Let's see. All right, let's do this, guys. We're hanging, right? I don't always do this. We don't always do a like goal. We're going to do a like goal for a giveaway. Plot twist, we're going to run a giveaway today, now that everybody was asking. We're going to run a giveaway today. And we're going to run it at... Damn, you guys are light, man. Light. Where's my... Here we go. Make it easy for you. Boom, giveaway at 80 likes, guys. Smash the like button and we will run a giveaway. That text is kind of annoying in the middle of my trade, but you guys need to be able to see it. So there we go. Giveaway at 80 likes. You guys got 50 on here. There's 60 people in here. Smash the like button and we will do a giveaway. And let me see. I think I got something a little bit different for you guys today. Ooh, we're gonna do a different kind of giveaway today, guys. We're gonna give away a Lucid eval. We're gonna give away a Lucid Pro eval. Oh, plot twist. Sorry, guys, I'm shot. We are gonna give away a Lucid Pro eval today, with no activation fee and no time limit. Shout out Lucid. Shout out you guys for supporting me and supporting the channel. If you want to check out Lucid Trading, scrolling down along the bottom of this video, you can check out Lucid. Now, I've got a Pro eval to give away today, and maybe we have some more in the future. But I got a Pro eval to give away today. I like the Lucid Flex accounts. I traded the black accounts to a payout before the Pro accounts. So don't sue me, even though I'm trading the Lucid Flex. Lucid Direct is also really solid. But if you guys want to check this out, I'm going to throw the link ski to Lucid in the chat. If you want to check out Lucid before we even hit it, boom. Boom, boom. And we're going to catch a W. So hit the like button. Somebody's going to get funded with a Lucid account. And we're about to catch a W. I don't know, guys. I don't know what else you want from me. I'm not sure. No, I don't like to say that. I'm joking around. We have no idea if we're going to catch a W unless I'm closing the trade right now. Trump could say, hey, war's over. And we just rocket to my stop loss. So I like to joke around. We have some fun. But I always like to grain of salt it, because there's so much BS in this space and everybody talks like an idiot. So I talk like an idiot also. I just will tell you when I'm talking like an idiot. So, fun. Awesome. For those countries are supported by Lucid, good luck. Sam the Trader and 212 AEH. What country are you in that is not supported? I'm curious. What's up? That's great. Wani. Bro, only 59 watching. How will we get to 80 likes? Well, Wani, if you take a look at the view count, we've had over 300 people hop on and or off the stream, or maybe click it 2 times. I can tell you with 100% certainty, based on the analytics, that the 62 people that have hit the like button so far are not the 62 people that are on the stream right now. If everybody hit the like button right now, we would hit 80 likes. That's just the fact. Kobe Clark caught NQ buys at 27,248. 27, 362. Done for the day. Nice, dude. Beautiful. Very nice, Kobe. Very nice. I was looking at NQ buys. That would have paid me today, guys. That would have paid me. That first one, I don't know in here if it would have paid me. I was looking at a nice fat stop loss on here, but this definitely would have paid. This definitely would have paid. Even if I took it in here, with a wide stop, I'd love a 150-point stop on NQ. That would have paid beautifully. Again, NQ during NYSE Open, dicey, right? It wouldn't allow me the opportunity on YM, my bread and butter. So we're sticking with the bread and butter for NYSE. There we go. 65 likes. Obliterate that like. Yeah, guys, run it up. I'm from Kenya, a land of the great marathon runners. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude, you guys are fast, bro. You guys are fast. It's like, is it, what is it? I forget the other one. Kenya, and is it like Ethiopia? The other dudes that are just always at the front of the marathon pack? The U.S. dudes can't keep up, bro. They really can't. We have a couple guys that like tend to go out and blow up, but I run, if you guys don't know. But yeah, they can't keep up. I used to watch Reed Fisher, who was American, trained out of like Colorado, was on a really cool team, Tin Man Elite, but they'd be like, you know, like 8th place and stuff. Is that where Kipchoge is? Kenya? The GOAT? Anyway, sorry, I got sideways here, guys. We're going to run a giveaway pretty soon. Let me get this ready. We got a trade running. I'm going to see if I can't catch a little Dubsky on this. We shall see. We're not running it yet, guys. We're not running it just yet. Oh, Trevor, I fixed the code, by the way. Trevor, who was talking about code RDF on top one not working, I did fix that. All right, guys, let's go. Smash the like button. I'm going to drop this in Discord. Make sure you're in Discord. Remember, you have to be in Discord. Zach, I want to give away for a few... Oh, Fast Money. Dude, Fast Money, shoot me a DM in Discord. They slept on it because Glenn and Ange had also hit me up, and I followed up, but I got to follow up. If you want a giveaway from me, not to invite the scammers, because if you try to play me, I'm gonna roast you across all of the firms, because I'm partnered and affiliated with almost every big one out there, and you get banned for trying to scam giveaways, just so you know. If you want a giveaway from me and you have not received it in 24 hours from the time that you won it, please hit me up on Discord. Shoot me an email, support@realdealfutures.com if you are not on Discord. But if, I don't know how you would have won if you're not on Discord, but please shoot me an email. Shoot me a DM and I'll follow up. Sorry about that. Lucid, not my country too. What country are you from? What country? I'm curious. Kenya is not allowed by Lucid. That stinks. Came over to Kick to like the video. Nice. Awesome. You can watch on Kick. No worries. Ethiopia. Yeah. He is from Kenya. Yeah. Kipchoge is the GOAT. Which is better, futures or CFD? I prefer futures. First off, CFDs are not legal. They're not allowed. I can't trade them as a US-based trader. So CFDs are not an option even if I wanted them to be, especially in live accounts. Forex and CFD prop firms, I think, present a much worse opportunity than futures prop firms, in my humble biased opinion, unless you have a couple of unique things like you're primarily a swing trader or you primarily are trading an instrument that is only offered by those. But futures, for the most part, for, you know, by a long shot, for so many different reasons. $212AEH and Amr, I can't pronounce your guys' names, 9054. What country are you in that is not allowed? I'm curious to hear, because it's interesting. Where we at? 67 likes. You guys gotta smash it. You guys gotta smash the like button and we'll run it. We got a trade running though, so I don't really have to go anywhere today. Sloth posted unsportsmanlike conduct in YouTube. It's the meme that says you're out of here. Oh, man. I said I was going to pull up Discord, so that's what I'm going to do next. While you guys are waiting for the likes, I'm going to pull up... I'm going to pull up Discord in just a minute here. Guys are funny. What's up? Let's see where we at. Where are we at? 70 likes. Let's run it. Pakistan. Pakistan's not allowed by Lucid either. That's interesting. Interesting. Yeah, different rules and regulations, right? You know, are going to allow them to operate in different countries. Also, risk factors. You know, whether we like to admit it or not, risk factors like scams and spams. You know, they are highly concentrated in specific countries and not in others. You know, that's not to say that everybody from that country is a scammer or spammer or any other country, but you know, businesses have to make a decision to say, hey, we'd love to support this country, but just based on the risk that we're taking on, also from like KYC fraud and things like that, specific countries have really high rates of it. So, you know, unfortunately, they make that decision sometimes to say, hey, we're just not going to offer our product there. But it sucks. It sucks for the people that are not doing that, right? And just want the opportunities that everybody else has. Pushing to the upside. No continuation to the downside after a nice rejection. Back towards the highs. ES pushing higher on cumulative volume delta. Increasing. NQ back above VWAP. This is not looking fantastic, chat. Really not looking fantastic. At least yet. At least yet. We got time. We got time. Let's see if we're going to catch a little bit of a pullback or if it's just going to be the big drive higher today. Just bulls ripping it higher. Let's see, chat. 72 likes. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to wait. We're going to run it. Guys. We're going to run it. We're going to run the giveaway, chat. All right. Giveaway form is live in Discord. Go ahead, if you're not in the Discord somehow and you've made it this far on the stream, you do have to be in the 100% free Discord that I run. So if you're not in there, where is the Discord invite for you guys one more time if you're lagging? Boom. 10 minutes. 10 minutes, guys. Give you guys 10 minutes to get the form filled out as we watch this trade. We are giving out today a Lucid account. Shout out Lucid. If you want to check them out, code RDF will get you the best deal. I have been taking payouts like an absolute madman from them. Every day this week and almost every day last week. It's been a pretty good run. It's definitely not going to continue, you know, for forever that way. That's not how it goes, but it's nice to be on a heater. So if you want to check out Lucid, link is also in the chat. All the links at realdealfutures.com. Code RDF gets you 40% off. 40% off, lower than the prices that you see on the site. If you want to check that out, feel free. Let's see what we got. I got like 9 friend requests. Yeah, that's not good. If you get friend requests from Discord from anybody, I don't DM or friend request anybody in Discord unless you DM me first, but don't do that. Just report them, ban them. The scammers are so prevalent. How to prevent overtrading? A lot of different ways. We could talk about that. I'll be the winner today. We'll see. Past top of futures, 50K with 1 NQ trade last week. Past 2 days, milking MNQ. Might not be the most efficient, but I want the payout. Been in props for 6 weeks now. Nice, dude. Very nice. We can talk about how to prevent overtrading because that's a big question. That's not something that's going to be easily answered in a couple seconds. Discord has had that issue for years now. Yeah, Discord is just, the scammers are just so prevalent. The impersonators are so prevalent. I have a lot of things in place to prevent that, but every Discord you join, you're going to get friend requests and DMs with the same BS scam, impersonating with the same name and, you know, and picture. I've been listening a great deal about Lucid. Yeah, Lucid's the best prop firm. My personal favorite. Has always been funded next. Nice. Nice. We've got somebody that likes Lucid. Getting fake Discord friend requests from you already. Yeah. 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 Don't, listen, guys, Discord is a, you know, group message app. Like, why would anybody DM you? Like, why would I be DMing you in Discord? Come on. Yeah, you only enter once. Sorry to respond like that. Yeah, only fill the form out one time, as it says on the form, right? So, on the front of the form, it said... Come on, bro. Are you joking around with me? Are you joking around with me? Don't joke with me here, guys. Come on. Come on, man. Please only fill this form out. Only fill the form out once. If you fill it out more than once, use multiple contacts, you will not be willing to be banned from all future giveaways. Don't ruin it for yourself. Come on, guys. Don't do that. Don't do that to me. You guys are funny though. My bad. Bro, bro, I've been getting so many personal messages from you on DM. Yeah, no personal messages from me on DM. Let me be clear. I will never friend request you or DM you first in Discord. Also, dear Lord, in my name, it says I won't DM you. If you get a DM from me and my name says I won't DM you, I hope a bell goes off in your mind and you go, hey, this might not be Zach. Let me ask him in the main chat if this is him. Okay, right? Like, let me verify. Let me click on his username and see that there's a different username, right? Maybe he routinely every single week posts in the scammers chat. Reminder, scammers are live. I will never friend request you or DM you here in Discord. I have no paid group or service. I will never ask you for money to manage your crypto, okay? So really important to note that, guys. I will not DM you or friend request you in Discord. I saw at the end it said submit again. Oh, that's not good. So, you guys are funny. You guys are funny. Mistake on the form, that's fine. I'll figure it out. As long as you don't scam the form by filling it out multiple times, you're good. All right, guys, last couple of minutes to get this form filled out. We're going to run a giveaway. Trade is coming back on me a little bit. Showed me 800 bucks of profit. Sitting in a little bit of drawdown. I got to sit on this one, man. Diamond hands. You guys know the meme. Where's the meme? Where's the Bruce Lee? Diamond hands. I love how the diamond site is advertising as if somebody that's looking up diamond hands means is interested in buying a diamond ring. They're not getting a good ROI on their ad spend on that one at all. But yeah, guys, go ahead and get this form filled out, and we will run this giveaway, man. Appreciate you guys hopping on. Remember, this is the last stream of the week. No stream tomorrow. I will be traveling, spending some time with family. No streaming on Friday. Streaming live all week. As always, I'm live almost every day that the market is open, 9:15 a.m. Eastern. You can subscribe to YouTube, follow on Kick, follow on X, wherever you are. I hope to be able to display what real trading looks like for me day in and day out with you guys for free. For free 99. That's how we like to run the show here. All right. Let's go, guys. Last chance. Last chance to get the form filled out. What did I say? 10 minutes? Said 11:37. All right, you got 2 minutes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And again, like I said, guys, if you're not following on YouTube, if you're watching somewhere else, I am dedicating a ton of time on all socials this year. I've just been pushing myself to be able to put out more content, getting hella active on X, on IG. They're all different, too. I post different things across all of them. But YouTube, I'm going to be looking at putting out more tutorial-style videos, just yapping about the tools that I use, but also trade reviews, right? Talked about swing trading a little bit more in the futures market, intraday swings, just other trades outside of the live session trades. And the live session trades, like today we might have one that runs, you know, into the end of the session. It's just nothing happened, right? We're still waiting for the trade to play out. Could talk about it, you know, after the fact. Provide a little bit more insights on the approach, why trades are entered, why they're managed the way that they're managed, how it worked out, right? What I'm looking to improve on, what I'm doing well. I'm going to be doing more of that. So follow along on X, on IG, on YouTube. Real Deal Zach everywhere. Real Deal Zach everywhere. And in Discord. And in Discord. And an email list. All for free. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and shut this down so we can run the ducks today. Let's go. Let's run it. Let's get ready to roll. Yeah, and now that you guys brought it up, since we talked about it, if you are from a country that is prohibited, you know, don't fill the form out, right? Unfortunately, you can't win. So if you win, you know, and you're from a country where it's prohibited, I can't give you the account. So don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, I see the bottom of the form. You guys spammed it. God, man, you guys suck sometimes. Not you guys. Some of you guys suck, man. Why? Why would you do it? Why do you guys have to make it difficult for me? All right, whatever. We're going to run it, and if one of you guys that spammed it wins, you know what I'm going to do? More so? When somebody that spams the form wins, if somebody that spams the form wins, and it, you know, an opportunity gets taken away from somebody else that deserves a chance to win, not only am I gonna run the form back, I'm gonna really make sure I make an example. You know, you have to, right? There has to be consequences to actions. I've been so cool in the past about it, but and I know everybody deserves a second chance, but you guys aren't gonna get second chances on this stuff. I'm telling you right now. You're not able to spam giveaway forms. You'll not only get banned from the future giveaway, you're gonna get banned from the prop firm also. And you can get banned from all of the prop firms when you do it to guys that are partnered with a lot of the main prop firms. Just don't do that. It's a bad idea. You know, don't try to do that, guys. I try. I say it so many times, but anyway, I'm not gonna bitch and complain. Let's run it, guys. Good luck, everybody. Shout out to Lucid for getting the account ready to get given away. Let's go. 3 minutes on the clock. Oh man. Yeah, I see what you got. Your guys' comments, all good comments. Listen, man. The spammers, the scammers, I get it. I can't even I empathize with everybody. I really do. Even people that, you know, are directly trying to hurt me and my family. I can empathize with everybody. I think that's the mark of a you know, somebody that's got their head on straight. I get it, bro. A lot of people are from countries that are, struggling. They're in spots that are struggling. They're just trying to get a leg up. They're trying to do what they can, right? And they're going to step on anybody's necks that they can to get that done. But there's consequences, man. So, it's like anything. If you want to try to run the game, you got to be careful for that, for that hammer that comes down on you eventually. So, I've been there, man. I've done a lot of dumb stuff across so many different arenas of all over my life. And I give a lot of people second chances, but I can't give second chances on these. So, don't do that. Don't do that. This is going to go bad for you. It's going to go bad for you. Anyway. Let's go. Good luck to everybody else that's not spamming and scamming the form. Spammers and scammers, I hope you step on a Lego barefoot. While I'm running this one, guys, again, I have been absolutely rinsing these Lucid accounts. I try to put you guys on to all the best stuff. These Lucid accounts are absolutely solid. Link is in the chat. Code RDF gets you 40% off. We're running the giveaway for them today. Absolutely solid, man. If you guys want to support me, support the channel, support yourself with the best deal, there is the link in chat on YouTube, on Kick. You can get all of the links that are pinned across all of my socials everywhere to all of the prop firms that I'm trading with, including Top 1 Futures, Take Profit Trader, Alpha. I'm still kind of just getting my feet wet on, but I do have a code for them. Top Step I don't have a code for. I keep trading with Top Step. And others. We're adding others to the rotation. As long as, as well as the softwares that I use. Bookmap, Trade Syncer, and New Squawk that we were talking about a lot today. Banger platforms. Let's see. 15 seconds to go. Who's got it? A Purple Ninja out of nowhere with the purple hat. What is happening? Oh, is it too early? Was the breakout too early? Purple Ninja with the purple hat. Oh, no. Almost made it. Ah. Oh, heartbreak. We got Sabid Ali. Let me check who this is. First off, did you follow all the instructions? Sabid Ali, are you here in chat? That is going to be question number 1. Let me go ahead and find out if you filled out the form and you did all the other stuff that you were supposed to do correctly. Let me see. I don't know this person, but we're gonna find out, man. We're gonna find out. Hang on. Looks like he may have followed the instructions. My man, Sabid, are you here? Are you here in chat? Are you here hanging out in chat? Ah, W. There he is. There he is. He's in chat. Wait a minute, guys. Wait a minute, though. Wait a minute. I'm checking something though here. Hang on. Sabid Ali. I'm gonna. What did I just say? I just said I was not gonna give anybody second chances. Let me tell you this. I don't know. I can't tell if unless I really check this. But Sabid Ali. I'm gonna phrase this clearly. I think you may have filled the form out more than one time with a little bit different information. I'm gonna give you a shot now to tell me, I don't know for sure, but I will find out for sure after the fact. If you did that, whether you did it intentionally, accidentally, do you have anybody else that lives in your house that filled out a form that has similar information as you? If I find out that you did that after I close this stream down, you're gonna get banned from every single prop firm and platform that I'm affiliated with. If you tell me now that you did that, I will not give you the account, but you can hang out here and, I won't drop the hammer on you. So just let me know and just say no with 100% certainty, and I'll just do a double check on the back end to make sure. But if you did that and you tell me no now and I give you the account and I end the stream, I will make sure that I go to all extents that I possibly can to get you banned from every single platform for giveaway scam, giveaway fraud. So just let me know. I'll give you the heads up. Chat, I don't mean the tension. I don't mean the issues. I want to make sure. Just want to make sure. I'm gonna give you a second here, man. Please think on this one. Because there's another one that's very close. That's very close. That I am fairly confident is you. The name is similar. The username is similar. The username and Discords are similar. The last name and the first name is similar. The style of the email is similar. The country is the same. Last chance, my man. Last chance. I tried for a long time, but I never got. My name is in the winners. Sabid, let me be clear one more time. I'm gonna give you it. I'm gonna give you one more chance, bro. Because I'm fairly confident that you filled it out more than one time. I know your name is in the winners. I'm gonna give you one shot. And chat as my witness. Chat as my witness. Sabid, do you understand what I'm asking? Do you understand what I'm asking? Because you didn't answer that question clearly. There seems to be multiple entries, at least 2 that I could identify, that you maybe submitted using slightly different usernames, full names, emails, usernames in Discord. Did you do that or no? So I need a real clear no, I did not. Me and my brother filled out the form. Thank you, Sabid. Thank you, Sabid. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, thank you. Thank you for being honest. I appreciate you. I'm glad that you said that. Okay? Here's the deal, Sabid. Here's the deal. You and your brother can't trade on the same platforms from the same house, okay? So I can't give either of you guys this account. We're going to run it again. Sabid. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you filling out the form. You and your brother and your mothers and your sisters and your grandmas and everybody can't have accounts with the same names, with the same information from the same IP address. You can't trade from the same spots, right? So I appreciate you saying that, although honestly, I don't think that's what happened. I think that everybody uses, multiple people's information, but you can't get the account, right? You can't have the account now. And I'm not going to go to any lengths, like I just said, since you were honest there, after I really hammered you. So we're going to run it back. But you see, chat, I'm a nice guy. I try, guys. I try. Just so you know, Sabid, if you and your brother are trading at the same prop firms, even if it genuinely is you and your brother, right? You're going to get banned. You're both going to get banned. You can't do that. You cannot have multiple people trading from the same household, the same area, similar names. It can't be policed clearly, so they just ban you. So I can't give you the account there either, right? I can't differentiate whether or not it's actually your brother or not. So I appreciate you for being honest, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give everybody a chance to be honest, okay? Just do me a favor, guys. Do me a favor. Everybody else, listen to this. You can't fill the form. Only one family member can fill the form out, okay? You can't have your brother fill the form out. You can't have your mother or your sister fill the form out. The same way that you can't have accounts with your brother or your sister or your mother or your brother trading. I don't know if you guys know that. One account per household. Some of the rules are a little bit like they're not clear enough. I will be abundantly clear with you. If you and your wife trade and you guys are real traders, you can't trade the same firms. You cannot trade the same firms. Whether you trade differently, different instruments, different times, from different platforms, you will get banned. You will 110% get banned. But you know why? There is almost 0 instances of that actually happening. And it's, fraud. It's people that are gaming the system. They're hedging accounts. They just want to have more exposure. They want to have more accounts. They want to win more giveaways, right? All these different reasons why it would benefit you to have multiple accounts, right? Multiple profiles with multiple accounts. So you can't do that. Can't do that on giveaways. You can't do that on prop firms. Don't do that. Please don't do that. It's funny, but don't do that. So we're running it again. We're back. Bro, I tried. A couple of you guys said you're a nice guy. Thank you. You're real. I tried, bro. I don't want to hurt. Listen, bro, I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to I don't want to drop the hammer on people. I don't like doing that. Because again, I understand. I've been in bad spots. I have that perspective. I get it. But I'm like, you know, you can't do it. Don't do it. If you want to play the game, you know, you're gonna get, you know. And I just said I wasn't gonna have patience, and I have patience again. I don't know, bro. I got empathy. I don't know why. But yeah, just don't do that, guys. Because maybe that's the truth. Maybe it's him and his brother, and they're grinding, you know, in the country that they're from, right? And they're trying to trade, and they both trade. Maybe that's true. But you can't do that. You can't do that. You know, it's really important. Do not make that mistake. If you make it genuinely, you're going to be in for a really rude awakening with prop firms. You know, and if any of you have done that accidentally, or maybe you're running the game, I'm telling you right now, as soon as you start taking payouts, you're going to get denied. As soon as you start taking payouts, either one of those profiles or multiple, you're going to get denied. Same name, no good, even from different locations. Different names, same location, same area, same devices. You're asking for it, man. You're absolutely asking for it. Even if it's genuine, you're asking for it. They're not gonna give you the grace that I just did. And once you get banned from one, there's a real high chance that you get blacklisted from all firms. There's a real high chance. They're not supposed to share information on the back end. I've seen a lot of that stuff happen. So don't do that. You know, maybe that's new information. Let's see who's got the W on this one. Snow Jorb. Let's see if we're going to have a similar situation here. I sure hope not. I think I know this person. But let's see. Snow Jorb. Are you here in chat? That's going to be question number 1. Question number 2. Did you fill out the form the right way? Which I'm going to check real quick. You're following on IG. You are following on IG. Let's go. Come on. Where are you at in the chat? You would have had to hung out for a minute. There we go. W's in the chat. Bang. We got him. We got him or her in the chat. W's in the chat. You are the winner of a Lucid Pro account. Shout out Lucid for getting this one done. I'm not going anywhere just yet, guys. We got to read the chat. We got YM, unfortunately, still pushing the upside here. Yuck. Absolutely disgusting. Looking like it's going to come from my stop. But I'm going to read the chat for a second here, guys, before we get ready to wrap up. Gross. You guys are funny. My duck like I was going give up. Yeah. All right, it was just a bunch of fun stuff. Brian says, that's not true. Honestly, that not true. Me and my wife trade in the same place and have never had issues with payment. She's using her own social security number and I get paid also. Brian, I am telling you right now. If you guys are trading on prop firms, specifically futures prop firms and or Forex CFD prop firms from the same location, you are asking for an issue. You can trade live accounts and do whatever you want. You know, that's fine. But at prop accounts from the same location with family members, you're asking for an issue. First off, it's in a lot of their prohibited practices, just the ability to only have one account per household. But even if you're doing it genuinely, you are risking losing those accounts, losing payouts. I'm telling you right now, man. They can't police it. They just cannot police it. They don't have the bandwidth to interview everybody, to get people on. Like, some of them have done that stuff in the past, but I'm telling you, man, I wouldn't do it. Would not do it. I would trade at different firms, different locations, different spots. So, anyway, excuse me. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Lucid, if you guys want to check out Lucid, they are in the chat. The person that got funded today got funded with a Lucid account. I've been absolutely, I don't like to say milking them. It's just a stupid thing. I've been crushing it with Lucid. Really, really solid accounts. I've been trading the flexes. Person today got the pro account. You want to check it out? Code RDF gets you the best deal. Shout out Lucid. Shout out to everybody else that supports me and supports the stream. All the information in there. All right, we got to talk about this for a second then. Okay, so here's what we got. They allow 5 accounts on top on futures and Tradeify per household. we get payout every time. Piasso, 20. Are you saying that you have 5 different profiles per household? As in, if you had your mom and your brother and your sister and your grandma and your aunt all trading, are you saying that you have 5 different profiles? Because 5 different people trading we're talking about, not 5 different accounts. You're allowed to copy trade as many accounts as you're allowed to copy trade. I didn't actually know about this. Yeah, I got you. I'm curious. Yeah, I still trade top 1. Still love top 1. Yapping about top 1 nonstop. The limit is on the house, not specific persons. I'm gonna stick to my guns on this one, guys. Here's what I'll tell you. As a partner and affiliate, right, of firms, I get to see when people have issues, right? They reach out to me. They tell me this is one of the most common things that I have people here a payout denied from. My girlfriend and me trade on the same firms too. Didn't know that, mate. Should I notify the firm or just close one of the accounts? Yeah, I would ask the firm. But I've seen more people get denied payouts for that than anything else. You know, really than anything else. Again, because they can't police it. So, you know, important to note. But, you know, you guys make your decisions as you see fit. Read the rules. Maybe talk to support. I wouldn't do it. Would never do it. I've just watched it happen over and over and over again. So, on that note, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. We're running long here, 12 o'clock. Appreciate you guys being here. No stream tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Hop in Discord. We can continue some of these conversations. Check out Lucid. Quick disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is suggestion or recommendation to anything at all. Make sure you do your own research, make your own trading decisions, read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is. Even if under prop firm accounts and the affiliate partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content. Like top of futures, code RDF, Lucid, Bookmap, and others. Can't be unbiased if I stand to make money, which I do. Important for me to note that, for you to do your own research, make your own decisions. Appreciate you guys. Fun time on the stream. I'm glad we got somebody funded. I'm glad we gave somebody a second chance. Interested to hear your insights on this. Again, guys, I got a lot of experience there. I would not pull people from the same household. I would not do that. But you guys do what you see fit. Talk to you guys soon. Thank you.